Ladies and gentlemen, have you ever wondered why some of the most remarkable people you meet are also the quietest about their work? Why those who truly make a difference seem to carry an air of mystery, while others are quick to announce their every intention? Today, I want to share a secret, a principle so simple yet so transformative that it could change the way you approach your ambitions, your relationships, and even your sense of self. Never tell people what you do. At first, this might sound counterintuitive. After all, aren't we taught to share our goals, to network, to showcase our talents to the world? Yet there's a power in holding back, a power that can protect your dreams, sharpen your focus, and amplify the impact of your actions. What I'm about to share with you is not about secrecy or hiding your light. It's about understanding the difference between noise and substance, between fleeting applause and lasting achievement. If you've ever felt stuck, misunderstood, or overwhelmed by the pressure to prove yourself to others, this is for you. Stay with me, because by the end of this journey, you'll see how silence can be your greatest strength, and how keeping your intentions to yourself might just be the key to unlocking the life you've always wanted. Let's dive in. We live in a world where words are plentiful and readily shared. From conversations to social media posts, there is no shortage of people announcing what they plan to achieve. Words, however, cost us very little. It takes no great effort to say, "I'll start a business," or "I'm going to write a book," but the act of saying these things is not the same as doing them. Words are mere seeds, they hold potential, but only action can nurture that potential into reality. This ease of speech often creates a trap. By telling others what we plan to do, we feel a premature sense of accomplishment. The act of sharing our goals often tricks our minds into believing we've already made progress, even though we haven't taken the first real step. It's a peculiar form of self-deception that saps the energy we could otherwise use to bring our vision to life. Additionally, when we speak about our intentions too soon, we open the door for doubt and interference. Others, even with good intentions, may question our plans, criticize our ambitions, or offer unsolicited advice. These external voices can cloud our judgment, sowing seeds of uncertainty where there was once clarity. By staying silent, we keep our focus intact, shielding ourselves from unnecessary distractions. Consider the wisdom of the craftsman who works quietly in the shadows, perfecting his skill before presenting his masterpiece. He does not call attention to himself until the work is done. This is not cowardice or secrecy. It is a recognition that actions, not words, are the true measure of worth. In contrast, those who talk endlessly about their plans often dilute their resolve and lose sight of the effort required to turn dreams into reality. Words also invite accountability, but in a superficial way. When we declare our intentions publicly, we may feel pressured to live up to those declarations not out of genuine commitment, but out of fear of judgment. This external accountability often lacks the depth and authenticity required to sustain real progress. Silence, on the other hand, allows us to be accountable to ourselves, driven by internal motivation rather than external approval. The world is full of noise. Everywhere we turn, people are shouting for attention, vying for recognition, and competing for applause. In this cacophony, it is easy to mistake volume for value. Yet the most impactful actions often unfold quietly, without fanfare. When we let our work speak for itself, it stands out in stark contrast to the empty promises of those who rely on words alone. In the end, words should complement action, not replace it. Speaking about our goals is not inherently wrong, but it becomes a problem when speech overshadows the effort required to achieve them. By refraining from announcing our intentions, we preserve the energy and focus needed to do the hard work that success demands. The next time you feel the urge to tell someone what you're planning, pause. Ask yourself, have I earned the right to speak about this yet? Have I taken the first step? If the answer is no, let your silence be a reminder to prioritize doing over declaring. There is a subtle danger in seeking recognition too early. When we share our plans or achievements with others, we risk shifting our focus from the work itself to the praise it may bring. This is the birthplace of vanity, where the desire to be seen eclipses the desire to be excellent. Silence, however, acts as a safeguard against this trap, keeping our motivations pure and our efforts undistracted. Vanity is insidious because it often disguises itself as ambition. We convince ourselves that sharing our goals is a sign of confidence or drive. Yet more often than not, it is a plea for validation, a way of asking others to affirm that we are on the right track. This dependency on external approval weakens us, making us more concerned with appearances than with substance. When we remain silent about our work, we free ourselves from the need to perform for an audience. The work becomes its own reward, untainted by the expectations or judgments of others. In this state, we can focus entirely on the task at hand, honing our skills and refining our craft without distraction. Silence fosters humility, allowing us to see our work for what it truly is, a process of growth and discovery, not a performance for applause. Consider the artist who spends years perfecting her technique in solitude. She does not seek praise for the sketches or drafts that lead to her masterpiece. Instead, she embraces the quiet labor of creation, knowing that true recognition comes not from boasting about the process, but from unveiling the finished work. In this way, silence becomes a shield against the vanity that often accompanies premature exposure. There is also a practical benefit to silence. When we do not seek validation for every step we take, we avoid the risk of becoming complacent. Early praise can create a false sense of accomplishment, making us less likely to push ourselves toward the excellence we are capable of achieving. Silence ensures that we stay hungry, striving for true success, rather than settling for superficial acknowledgement. Silence also gives us the freedom to fail without fear of judgment. When we work quietly, we can experiment, take risks, and learn from our mistakes without the pressure of public scrutiny. This freedom is essential for growth, as it allows us to embrace the imperfections of the creative process rather than hiding them behind a facade of confidence. Vanity often leads us to measure our worth by the reactions of others, but true fulfillment comes from within. When we let go of the need to be seen and appreciated, we discover a deeper sense of purpose, a commitment to our work that transcends the fleeting satisfaction of external praise. Silence nurtures this inner strength, helping us stay grounded in the face of both success and failure. The work we do in silence is the work that defines us. It is not the applause of the crowd that matters, but the quiet certainty that we have given our best. Let your silence be a testament to your commitment, and let your work speak for itself when the time is right. There is something undeniably magnetic about mystery. In a world where oversharing has become the norm, those who hold back stand out. Silence creates an air of intrigue, drawing others in without the need for explanation or self-promotion. It is a quiet power that commands respect and curiosity, often far more effectively than words ever could. Mystery is not about manipulation or deceit. It is about preserving the sanctity of your work and intentions, allowing them to develop in their own time. When we keep our plans to ourselves, we create a space where our actions can unfold organically, free from the weight of others' opinions. This space is where true creativity and innovation thrive. But the allure of mystery lies in its ability to provoke thought and imagination. When you remain silent about your goals, others are left to wonder what you might be working on. This curiosity often leads to greater interest and admiration than any announcement could achieve. People are naturally drawn to what they cannot fully understand, and silence allows you to cultivate this intrigue without effort. Mystery protects you from the pitfalls of premature exposure. When we share our plans too soon, we invite scrutiny and criticism that can undermine our confidence. By staying quiet, we shield ourselves from these external pressures, allowing our work to grow in strength and integrity before it is revealed to the world. Mystery also fosters a sense of self-reliance. When you do not rely on others to validate your efforts, you become more attuned to your own instincts and judgments. This independence is a powerful asset, enabling you to navigate challenges with clarity and resolve. Silence, in this sense, is not just a strategy, it is a form of empowerment. Consider the mystique of the unassuming individual, whose accomplishments speak volumes without a word being said. This person does not need to explain themselves or seek recognition, their actions do the talking. This quiet confidence is far more compelling than any boast or proclamation. Mystery also allows you to surprise others with your achievements. When people do not know what to expect, the impact of your success is magnified. This element of surprise can be a powerful tool, leaving a lasting impression that words alone could never achieve. Mystery is a reflection of self-respect. It shows that you value your work enough to protect it from unnecessary exposure, allowing it to shine on its own terms. By embracing the power of silence, you invite others to see not just what you do, but who you are, a person of depth, purpose, and quiet determination. When we speak our plans aloud, we unwittingly tether ourselves to expectations, those of others, and, more dangerously, those we create for ourselves. Promises are inherently binding. They carry the weight of accountability, but not always in a way that serves us. Silence, on the other hand, offers liberation. It grants us the flexibility to change course, adapt to new insights, and grow without the pressure of meeting pre-declared goals. When we announce our intentions, we often feel obligated to fulfill them exactly as we described. This rigidity can stifle creativity and prevent us from exploring alternative paths. A plan shared with others may lock us into a narrow vision of success, making it harder to pivot when circumstances change. In contrast, working in silence allows us to remain fluid and responsive, free to evolve as we progress. The act of sharing our plans can also distort our priorities. When we promise something publicly, we become focused on meeting external expectations rather than pursuing what genuinely matters to us. This shift in focus can lead us to compromise our values or cut corners in an effort to satisfy others. Silence keeps us aligned with our true intentions, unclouded by the need to impress or conform. Another danger of making promises is the emotional weight they carry. When we declare our goals, we may feel a heightened sense of anxiety about living up to them. This pressure can be paralyzing, making it harder to take the first step. Silence, by contrast, is freeing. It removes the burden of external accountability, allowing us to act with confidence and clarity. Silence also guards against the ego's need for validation. When we share our goals, we risk seeking approval rather than focusing on the work itself. This dependence on external affirmation can weaken our resolve, making us more susceptible to doubt and discouragement. By staying quiet, we cultivate self-reliance and inner strength, drawing motivation from within rather than from others. Promises can also lead to premature judgment. When we share our intentions, others may form opinions about our abilities or the likelihood of our success. These judgments, whether supportive or critical, can influence how we perceive ourselves and our work. Silence protects us from this external noise, allowing us to focus solely on what we need to do. Silence fosters patience. When we refrain from making promises, we are less likely to rush into action simply to prove ourselves. Instead, we can take the time needed to plan, reflect, and execute with care. This patience often leads to better outcomes, as we are not driven by the urgency of meeting expectations, but by the desire to do our best. In silence, we find the freedom to experiment, to fail, and to learn without fear of judgment. This freedom is essential for growth, as it allows us to take risks and explore new possibilities. Let silence be your ally, granting you the liberation to pursue your goals on your own terms, unburdened by the weight of promises you may not yet be ready to keep. In a world overflowing with noise, those who shout the loudest are rarely the ones who leave a lasting impact. Volume does not equate to value, and proclamations do not guarantee progress. There is an inherent dignity in quiet action, a gravitas that comes from letting results speak louder than words ever could. The loud may capture attention momentarily, but it is the steadfast and silent who earn true respect. Consider how often we encounter individuals who endlessly tout their achievements or advertise their grand plans. While their words may initially pique our interest, they often fail to sustain it. Over time, such displays come across as hollow, especially when they are not backed by consistent action. Those who focus on their work rather than their words, however, command respect by demonstrating their worth through deeds, not declarations. The problem with being loud is that it creates expectations. When someone constantly talks about what they intend to do, they set themselves up for scrutiny. Any failure to deliver becomes glaringly obvious, undermining their credibility. Silence, on the other hand, creates no such vulnerabilities. It allows us to work at our own pace, free from the pressure of living up to public declarations. Loudness often comes from a place of insecurity. Those who feel the need to broadcast their intentions are frequently seeking validation or reassurance. This reliance on external approval can be a sign of uncertainty rather than confidence. True confidence, however, is quiet. It does not need to announce itself because it is self-sustaining. Furthermore, loudness diminishes the element of surprise. When we constantly share our plans, we give away our strategies and intentions, reducing their impact. Silence preserves this element of surprise, allowing our achievements to make a stronger impression when they are finally revealed. The unexpected always carries more weight than the predictable. There is also a practical advantage to silence. It minimizes the risk of distraction. When we speak too freely about our goals, we invite opinions, advice, and criticism from others. While some of this input may be valuable, much of it can be irrelevant or discouraging. By staying quiet, we protect ourselves from these distractions, allowing us to focus entirely on our work. The loud are often dismissed because their words lack substance. In contrast, those who work quietly and diligently build a reputation for reliability and depth. Their actions speak volumes, creating a legacy that is far more enduring than any proclamation. This quiet competence inspires trust and admiration, qualities that cannot be achieved through words alone. Silence is a form of power. It allows us to control the narrative, revealing only what is necessary and withholding what is not. By resisting the urge to speak unnecessarily, we cultivate an aura of strength and focus, proving that we do not need to shout to make an impact. Let your work be your voice, and let that voice resonate far beyond the noise of the crowd. When we choose to remain silent, we create space to listen, and in listening, we often discover far more than we could by speaking. There is an art to observing and absorbing the world around us, one that is lost when we are preoccupied with sharing our own stories. Silence allows us to tune into the wisdom, experiences, and insights of others, enriching our understanding and sharpening our perspective. Listening is a skill that many overlook in their eagerness to be heard. Yet, it is through listening that we build connections and deepen relationships. When we resist the urge to talk about ourselves, we show genuine interest in others. This openness fosters trust and mutual respect, qualities that are essential for collaboration and growth. Moreover, listening gives us access to a wealth of knowledge that we might otherwise miss. Every person we encounter has something to teach us, whether through their successes, their failures, or their unique way of seeing the world. By staying silent, we create opportunities to learn from these experiences, broadening our horizons and expanding our understanding. Silence also helps us identify opportunities that we might overlook if we are too focused on our own voice. When we listen, we become attuned to the needs and desires of others, enabling us to recognize gaps that we can fill or problems that we can solve. This heightened awareness often leads to innovative solutions and new possibilities. Listening is not only about hearing words, it is about understanding context, emotion, and intention. Silence allows us to pick up on these subtleties, giving us a deeper insight into the dynamics at play. This nuanced understanding can inform our decisions and actions, helping us navigate complex situations with greater wisdom and empathy. In remaining silent, we also learn to appreciate the power of timing. Not every thought needs to be shared, and not every moment requires our input. By listening, we develop the discernment to know when to speak and when to hold back, ensuring that our words carry weight and relevance when they are finally spoken. Listening cultivates humility. It reminds us that we do not have all the answers and that others' perspectives are valuable. This humility not only makes us better collaborators, but also fosters a mindset of continuous learning and growth. Finally, silence helps us center ourselves. In a world that often feels chaotic and overwhelming, the act of listening can be grounding. It shifts our focus outward, giving us a sense of connection and purpose that transcends our own concerns. By choosing to listen more and speak less, we discover a richness of experience that words alone could never capture. Humility is a fertile ground for personal and professional growth. It strips away the ego's constant need for validation and creates a space where learning and improvement can thrive. When we choose not to tell others what we do, we exercise humility by recognizing that our work is not about seeking approval, but about striving for excellence. This humility becomes a powerful catalyst for self-discovery and transformation. At its core, humility is an acknowledgement of our limitations. When we refrain from broadcasting our achievements or plans, we admit, if only to ourselves, that we still have much to learn. This mindset keeps us open to new ideas and perspectives, enabling us to approach challenges with curiosity rather than arrogance. The silent worker is often the one who learns the most because they prioritize growth over recognition. Silence also prevents the ego from taking center stage. When we focus on the work itself, rather than its potential acclaim, we free ourselves from the distractions of pride and vanity. This humility helps us remain grounded, reminding us that no matter how skilled or accomplished we may be, there is always room for improvement. It is in this quiet, unassuming pursuit of mastery that true growth occurs. Humility also nurtures resilience. When we don't seek constant validation, we become less vulnerable to criticism and failure. Silence teaches us to derive our sense of worth from the effort we put into our work, rather than the opinions of others. This internal stability allows us to persevere through setbacks with grace and determination, knowing that our value is not tied to external recognition. Humility fosters collaboration. By staying silent about our own accomplishments, we create space to acknowledge and appreciate the contributions of others. This openness builds trust and camaraderie, enabling us to work together more effectively. True humility is not about diminishing ourselves, but about elevating those around us, creating an environment where everyone can thrive. Choosing humility also means embracing patience. Growth is a slow and often unglamorous process, and humility helps us accept this reality without frustration. When we don't feel the need to prove ourselves constantly, we can focus on the small, consistent actions that lead to lasting progress. Silence protects this process, allowing us to grow at our own pace without the pressure of meeting others' expectations. Another benefit of humility is its ability to attract mentors and allies. People are naturally drawn to those who are humble and genuine, as these qualities signal a willingness to learn and a lack of pretension. By staying silent and focusing on the work, we show others that we are serious about our goals, earning their respect and support. Humility reminds us that success is not a destination but a journey. It is not measured by the applause we receive, but by the person we become along the way. By practicing humility and keeping our work private, we prepare ourselves for deeper and more meaningful growth, ensuring that our achievements are rooted in substance rather than show. In a world that often equates success with recognition, it's easy to forget that the greatest reward of any endeavor is the work itself. When we focus on the joy of creating, learning, or solving problems, we find fulfillment that no amount of external praise can match. Silence allows us to reconnect with this intrinsic motivation, shifting our focus from how our work is perceived to how it enriches our lives. The process of doing the work, whether it's writing, building, or innovating, is where the real magic happens. It's in the late nights spent solving a tough problem, or the quiet hours honing a skill, that we experience the deepest sense of accomplishment. These moments are often invisible to the outside world, yet they hold the greatest significance. Silence honors these moments, protecting the sacredness of the work itself. When we stop seeking external validation, we begin to appreciate the subtle rewards of our efforts. The satisfaction of solving a challenging problem, the pride in seeing progress over time, or the simple joy of creating something new, these are the rewards that matter most. Silence helps us focus on these internal milestones, which are far more enduring than fleeting applause. The work itself also teaches us valuable lessons. Every challenge we face, every mistake we make, and every breakthrough we achieve contributes to our growth. These lessons are often lost when we focus too much on external recognition. By staying silent, we allow ourselves to fully engage with the learning process, gaining insights that will serve us in future endeavors. Silence also frees us from the pressure to conform. When we are not concerned with how others perceive our work, we can approach it with authenticity and creativity. This freedom allows us to take risks, experiment with new ideas, and stay true to our vision. The work becomes a reflection of our unique perspective, untainted by the need to please or impress. Finding joy in the work itself makes us more resilient. External rewards, such as praise or financial gain, are often unpredictable and fleeting. When we derive satisfaction from the process rather than the outcome, we remain motivated even in the face of setbacks. This intrinsic motivation sustains us through the ups and downs of any journey. Silence also encourages us to appreciate the journey rather than rushing toward the destination. When we focus on the work itself, we become more present, savoring each step along the way. This mindfulness enhances both the quality of our work and our overall sense of well-being, making the process as rewarding as the result. The work itself is what gives our lives meaning. It is through the act of doing, creating, and contributing that we find purpose and fulfillment. By staying silent about our intentions and focusing on the work, we honor this truth, ensuring that our efforts are driven by passion and dedication rather than the need for recognition. Praise is a double-edged sword. While it can be motivating, it can also make us dependent on external approval, leaving us vulnerable to disappointment and self-doubt. Detachment from praise, on the other hand, cultivates inner strength and resilience. Silence helps us achieve this detachment by allowing us to focus on our goals without being swayed by others' opinions. When we remain silent about our work, we remove the temptation to seek validation. This detachment frees us to pursue our goals with clarity and purpose, unclouded by the need for recognition. It is in this state of independence that we find true resolve, a commitment to our work that is grounded in our values rather than external rewards. Relying on praise can create a dangerous cycle. The more we seek it, the more we depend on it to feel validated. This dependence can weaken our resolve, making us more likely to give up when recognition is not forthcoming. Silence breaks this cycle, teaching us to find fulfillment within ourselves rather than in the opinions of others. Detachment from praise also makes us more resilient in the face of criticism. When our sense of worth is not tied to external approval, we can view criticism objectively, using it as a tool for growth, rather than as a measure of our value. Silence protects us from the emotional highs and lows of external feedback, helping us stay focused on our goals. Detachment from praise encourages authenticity, that when we are not concerned with how our work will be received, we are free to pursue our true passions and express our unique perspective. This authenticity often leads to more meaningful and impactful work, as it is driven by genuine purpose rather than the desire to please. Silence also fosters patience. When we are not rushing to gain recognition, we can take the time to perfect our craft and pursue our goals with care. This patience often leads to better results, as we are more focused on quality than on gaining immediate approval. Detachment from praise strengthens our resolve by teaching us to embrace the process rather than the outcome. When we stop chasing validation, we can fully commit to the work itself, finding joy and purpose in every step. This commitment sustains us through challenges and setbacks, ensuring that we remain steadfast in our pursuit of excellence. Detachment from praise is not about rejecting recognition, but about prioritizing what truly matters. By staying silent and focusing on the work, we cultivate a quiet confidence that is unshaken by the opinions of others. This confidence is the foundation of lasting success, built not on the applause of the crowd, but on the strength of our own resolve. Focus is one of the most valuable assets in any pursuit, yet it is constantly under attack in our noisy, fast-paced world. By choosing silence, we shield ourselves from unnecessary distractions, safeguarding the mental clarity required to achieve meaningful goals. Sharing our plans or achievements prematurely exposes us to external influences, opinions, doubts, and unsolicited advice that can derail our progress and dilute our focus. When we speak openly about what we do, we invite others into our mental space. This might seem harmless, but even well-meaning comments can shift our priorities or sow seeds of self-doubt. Silence acts as a filter, allowing us to stay aligned with our original vision and goals, free from the noise of external perspectives. It keeps our mental landscape clear, enabling us to concentrate fully on what truly matters. In a silent state, we can direct all our energy toward the task at hand. Words once spoken carry weight. They demand explanation, invite discussion, and often lead to emotional entanglements. These distractions pull us away from our work, reducing both our efficiency and the quality of our output. By choosing silence, we eliminate these diversions, channeling our efforts into productive action rather than unproductive conversation. Silence also protects us from the temptation of comparison. When we share our goals or achievements, we inevitably open the door to comparisons with others. These comparisons can erode our focus, making us more concerned with measuring up than with doing our best. In silence, we are free to define success on our own terms, maintaining a singular focus on our personal growth and accomplishments. Another benefit of silence is that it enhances our ability to prioritize. When we refrain from speaking about our plans, we are forced to clarify them internally. This introspection helps us identify what is most important, allowing us to focus our time and energy on the areas that will yield the greatest results. Silence, in this sense, sharpens our focus by demanding clarity and intentionality, and silence also guards against the pressure to rush. When we announce our goals, we often feel an urgency to deliver quickly in order to meet others' expectations. This haste can compromise the quality of our work, leading to errors or incomplete efforts. By staying silent, we grant ourselves the time and space to move at our own pace, ensuring that our focus remains steady and our work thorough. Silence strengthens our resilience to setbacks. When we work quietly, our failures remain private, allowing us to learn and recover without the added burden of external scrutiny. This privacy fosters a growth mindset, enabling us to view challenges as opportunities rather than as public defeats. With silence as our shield, our focus remains unwavering, even in the face of obstacles. Ultimately, silence is a sanctuary for focus. It creates a protective barrier between us and the distractions of the outside world, preserving the mental clarity and emotional stability needed to pursue our goals with determination. By keeping our plans private, we cultivate an environment where focus thrives, ensuring that our actions are guided by purpose and not by the noise around us. In a world where oversharing is often mistaken for progress, there is profound wisdom in holding your silence. This speech has explored the transformative power of working quietly and letting your results speak for themselves. By refraining from sharing our plans and achievements prematurely, we safeguard our energy, protect our focus, and cultivate a sense of humility and authenticity that cannot be shaken by external forces. The journey of growth is deeply personal, and its greatest rewards often lie in the quiet, unseen moments of effort and discovery. When we resist the urge to announce our intentions, we create space for genuine learning and meaningful progress. Silence allows us to grow on our own terms, free from the expectations and judgments of others. By choosing not to broadcast our goals, we avoid the trap of seeking validation and instead cultivate a sense of intrinsic motivation. This internal drive is far more enduring and resilient than the fleeting satisfaction of praise. It keeps us grounded and focused, enabling us to persevere through challenges with unwavering resolve. Silence is not a sign of weakness, but a testament to strength. It reflects confidence, discipline, and a commitment to the work itself. It allows us to remain true to our values and vision, undistracted by the noise of external opinions or the pressures of public expectation. Through silence, we gain the freedom to explore, to experiment, and to grow without fear of judgment or failure. The decision to remain silent is a powerful act of self-respect. It is a declaration that our work is worth pursuing for its own sake, not for the applause it might bring. By focusing on action rather than words, we ensure that our achievements are not just imagined but realized, and that they speak for themselves in a language far more compelling than anything we could say. So embrace the power of silence. Let it guide you, protect you, and empower you to work with purpose and intention. And when your work is finally revealed, let it be a testament not to what you said you would do, but to what you quietly and resolutely accomplished.